Okay, evening everyone. Thank you for attending tonight. As you can see on the screen, we've got Owen's live with us as well. Evening, Ows. You okay, mate?
Hiya there.
Good man. Guys, what we're going to do tonight is going to be short, sharp, and brilliant information what Owen's going to provide tonight. It's going to be talking about the nutritional advice that he has generally, like in terms of when he's rushing around in the week before training. So stuff that he'll prepare the night before. And it's something we talked about when I was last with Ows. And he said, well, and I said, that's amazing. And he said, well, you know, especially nowadays when everyone's so rushed, you know, what can I prepare? And, you know, I know yesterday, sorry, I just need to go. I need to admit some people. Okay, that's all done. Yep. Okay, good. Yesterday's, I rushed off to work early doors about 5:30 in the morning, and I didn't take any snacks with me or anything. And this is a little bit about being prepared. And obviously, you guys are sportsmen, and you know, a lot more active. So it's important that you get the right thing. So when me and Oz talked about this a couple of weeks ago, it was, you know, something that I wanted to put in place. And obviously, by getting you guys, Oz said that he would do it and actually show him preparing some food as well. So just going to touch on a few of the things that Oz used in his video yesterday when he did the video link for us. Let me just check the participants again because I need to get that off the screen so it doesn't interfere it. Okay. Okay, so these are a couple of ones off the slides. There's obviously Oz with his England shirt on again, representing the national team. So the first one I've got on screen is, and I know it says Morrison's on there, but there are other brands available, okay, is the natural yogurt. Okay, so this is one of the ingredients Oz will use. From that, he goes into semi-skimmed milk. Okay, so not the full fat, he uses the fresh semi-skimmed milk. And then we've got the linseed, okay, which is what Oz puts in it as well, which is part of the mix. These are all the four things that are in the mix that Oz is going to show in the video that he's now going to put up on screen, that I'm going to put up on screen, and Oz can talk it through. So do you want to talk through them first, Oz, or do you want me to play the video? What do you want me to go for, mate?
Let the video run. I do talk a little bit in the video anyway, so okay. Let the video run and then we'll get into it as soon as that video is done.
Brilliant. Okay then, guys, here we go. We'll press play on the video and we'll get straight into it.
All right, everybody. So this is just a really, really quick, simple breakfast. Make sure you're getting plenty of good stuff in. And you'll see how long it's going to take me to make. I've obviously got the stuff out ready to go, but it doesn't take much longer than what it's going to take now. So I'm going to put a linseed mix here. It's got a couple of different pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds in there. So some really good fats, a really low amount of saturated fat. So very good for you. It is 13 grams. 13 grams, so that'll do me. Perfect. I'm going to look to, I've just got some regular porridge oats here. I'm going to put some of this in, so it's really good slow release carbs, so it's going to last you a long time in the morning, give you plenty of energy. It is 28 grams. It is 40 grams. So as you can tell, it's a little bit slower for me, so I have to wait for him to tell me how much I've put in. Let's put a little bit more in there. It is 56 grams. Yeah. Right. It is 61 grams. I've got that. Now what I'm going to do now, I've got semi-skimmed milk. I'm just going to cover that mixture that I've made. Again, I'm just using my finger to know how much I've put in. So that'll do. It is 109 grams. Power off. Don't need him anymore. I'm just going to put in, I'm going to get some blueberries in there as well. So I'm going to get some good fruits, good antioxidants as well. I'm going to put them in as well. I'm going to put a good handful of blueberries in there. just to finish it off. Going to get a little bit of extra protein in there as well. Some natural yogurt. Just really good. Some good fats in there, and again, some good proteins for the day. 1, 2, and a touch more. And we're just going to stir it all up. I don't mind getting my hands in there, they're clean. Might not look the most appetizing, to be honest, but I promise you it is lovely on a morning. Now what I will say about this is, what you want to do, you want to put some cling film over the top, stick it in the fridge, and by the time you get up in the morning, it'll be ready to go, and that's overnight oats. So hope you enjoy.
Brilliant. Excellent. Okay, Oz, over to you, mate.
Yeah, so that there was just there's no set recipe to stuff like that. So I did another one last night, and I took some peanut butter in, and I just like to mix it up and put different stuff in there, different fruits. You might want to slice some banana in there, whatever. But it's the message I was trying to get across is that you can kind of get really good food that doesn't take too long to make. So one thing that I do quite a lot, I'll cook up like batches of rice and stuff, so that I can literally just stick it in the microwave or whatever, rice and veg, do a few portions of that, and you either freeze or keep it in the fridge. And then if you want your meat fresh on the day, I think on a George Foreman it takes roughly 10 minutes, if not a little bit less, to cook like a chicken breast or something. Your rice is ready, and so within 10 minutes you can have chicken, rice, vegetables, and that's all it takes. It's not far off making a sandwich, really. So it's not the preparation and stuff like that. Without that, I'd end up just eating rubbish all the time. I'd end up just coming in and grabbing anything at dinner time.
So do you just how long? So that snack. Sorry, Oz, to butt in. That snack then that you just made then, that would be, so you'd go to training then at what, 7 or 8 in the morning, and then you'd have, what sort of time would you have that, etc. then?
So I would have that if I've got training at, sometimes we're on the pitch for 8 o'clock, so I would get up at roughly around 6:30, straight downstairs, cup of coffee, eat that, and then let that settle and set off to training. That would be my breakfast. And then I'd have something else then. So I would have, maybe when I got back from training, I would have something like a high protein type snack, and I would have some carbs and stuff maybe mid-morning if it was an early morning training session.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to go that long between training and eating. So when you finish training, if you finished a game or you finished a training session, it's really, really important. You want to get that food in quite quickly after. If you can get it in within the hour after training, that's when you're going to get the best benefit from it.
Brilliant. So if you're looking at, so the first hour after any training or a match, the first hour is the crucial time that you would say to get your intake in. And what sort of things would you look to get there, Nose?
So you do want some carbohydrate in there because I mean, to be honest, it's really, really complicated stuff, and we're trying to condense this down. So basically, you want to get your glycogen stores and everything that you've used up, all the carbs and all the energy that you've used during that game or that training session. You want to get that back up. So you want protein in there for repair and recovery, to recover the muscles. But you also want carbohydrates in there as well. You've got to replenish.
And what would you go for? So when you have a pre-match meal, then sort of thing, how long before would you advise, and what sort of things would you go for, mate?
Right. So let's go through. Let's say we've got a game at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock. So dinner time. So 2-3 hours before, you want you want proteins in there, so you could have maybe your chicken breasts, or you don't want steak. You want stuff that is easily digestible. So you don't want things like steak and red meat and stuff. You want something like a chicken or something like that. Then you want some vegetables in there, but then you want your slow release carbohydrates, something like sweet potato, brown rice, stuff like that, because that's slow release carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Then some people before a game, personally I don't. So before a game, maybe an hour before a game, if I can get hold of a cup of coffee, I like to drink coffee, just to sharpen me up really. But I don't take. Some people take you get the gels and stuff. Some people like to use a caffeine gel. Some people like to use Red Bulls, the stimulant type stuff. Some people like to use sports drinks, stuff like that. Personally, I might use like a Lucozade Sport or something like that. But I don't use caffeine and stuff like that because I'm crackers enough when I play anyway. And that's genuine. That is so. Some people do like that bit of a boost before games.
So do you think then potentially that you could, by taking too much of that caffeine, especially somebody like yourself, like you say, you're crackers, when you play anyway. Well, yeah. I just like to reinforce that you're crackers full time. But what I would say is, that if you're pretty high intense anyway, then not to overdose on the caffeine, then maybe.
Definitely not. I mean, to be honest, this sort of stuff comes down to you've got to know your own body a little bit. I mean, so what I will use sometimes is at half time, maybe have a couple of Jaffa cakes, or maybe have you seen the carb gels?
Yeah.
You can get the caffeine gels. You just literally squeeze it into your mouth.
That's it. Yeah.
But you can also get like the carb gels as well. And what that is, that's like a simple carbohydrate that's going to give you energy quickly. Mm-hmm. It's not going to buzz you right up like a caffeine would, but it's going to give you some more energy. It's going to put carbohydrates back into your body. So that sort of stuff, yes, at half time I might use that sort of stuff. After a game, you want to be using, that's where you want a high protein meal, but you do need those carbohydrates. You've used a lot of energy, you've got to get them back in again. Not all fat is bad fat, so we do need some fats. So a couple of times a week, you want to be getting, at least once a week, you want to be getting some oily fish. And then you want to be eating fish again sometime within the week. Obviously, this is if you're not a vegetarian or vegan or whatever.
Yeah. What's the benefits? Because I mean, I've always been big into this, to say the fish diet sort of thing. What would you say the benefits to an active footballer such as yourself and obviously the lads are in on this?
It's to fish.
Yeah.
I mean, very high in protein, but it's also got those good fats in as well.
Yeah.
Omega-6 as well. To be honest, lads, the secret, there isn't any secret to it. It's about getting the right foods in. If you've got a plate, and on that plate there's a good proportion of greens, fruit and vegetables throughout the day, but on your plate, if there's a good proportion of vegetables on there, there's a good proportion of carbohydrates, so rice, potato, sweet potato, and a good proportion of protein, whether that's in meat or in something like, I don't know, even corn, stuff like that. It's got the protein there. But there's not a massive secret to it. If you're going to be training, you're having a really, really big session, you need more calories.
I think just looking on that, what you said, Oz, I mean, that's massive in terms of especially... And I'll touch on a little story that I had years and years ago, and I'm sure you've had these on training camps. We took a team to Holland, a youth team when I was working for a private company, and we went down to the school hall where we were actually staying in, and basically they served pasta and some vegetables with it for the first night. And the majority of our boys, I think I took a 14 side, and they were like, come away from there and they were like, oh, I need to go and get something else. I didn't fill me up. And we were like, well, what did you have? He said, oh, I didn't really like this and I didn't like that. That's what they had on offer, and there was a reason they had that on offer. Then the following night was a case of, well, it was the same, because that is, we were playing in a tournament football, so it was basically, we were out there for 5 days. I think we played football 3 of the days, so we went for 1 pre-day, and then obviously depending on how you got on in the tournament, and we got to the final. But it was the biggest eye-opener for me then, and this would be going back when I started coaching, so you're looking at 15 years ago, was the importance of having all that other, the vegetables and all the pasta and all the etc., which was massive. What's it like on your camps when you go away with England and that then, mate? Obviously, your strict diets, etc.
So we're obviously really lucky, but because we train up at St George's Park and stuff, and everything that we need is there. But that's the camps and stuff. It's kind of 2 days a month or whatever, or 3 days a month. So the rest of the time, you've got to try and do it at home as well, Andy. And see, sport, if you're playing sport and you're doing a hell of a lot of exercise, you're putting a lot of strain on your body, and it's actually, you're putting a strain on your immune system. And that's why it's so important to get the fruit and the vegetables and stuff in there. So one thing that I try to do is, so each meal of the day, I try to have a piece of fruit and veg.
Do you really?
So, yeah. So if so yesterday morning, let's just say, then I had the blueberries. If I have a snack mid-morning, I might have a banana with it. At dinner time, I might have an orange with it. So I'm already on 3 pieces of fruit by dinner time.
Yeah.
And the other one, I know we're quite short on time, but the other one is hydration.
Yeah.
And it's so important. So in a game of football, if you're hydrated, properly hydrated, you're going to get 10% more performance level.
Wow.
So your performance is going to be 10% better because you can think better. Obviously your body's fully hydrated, so it can function better. And it's going to stop things like your cramps.
Mm. That's a massive amount, 10% when you're talking, because you're talking, the hydration. You're on about decision making. Well, you look at, and it's no secret, is it? I mean, the old joke used to be Fergie time in the last 2 minutes. Man United used to always score. It was no joke, and it's at the end of the day, the best players make the best decisions 9 times out of 10, especially in those last 2 or 3 minutes of games, which a winning mentality, isn't it? And that if you're talking to that 10%, you imagine that hydration levels.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what? And I'm trying to speak really, really honestly here, and not trying to come across as some sort of nutrition consultant. I'm trying to come across as a player.
That's what we want, mate. That's what we want, definitely.
And is there anything wrong with occasionally having a pizza or some chips or a McDonald's or something? No. But if the majority of the time you're doing things right, there's nothing wrong with doing that sort of stuff now and again. There isn't. We all do it.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you can get the right stuff, breakfast. So if you can have breakfast, start of the day, a good breakfast. I know everyone says it. Again, everyone says it, but it does work.
Yeah.
It really does work.
And do you keep this diet then most of the time, even in off season? I know you don't have much of an off season, but do you keep this so as your body, a bit like what you were touching on there with the vegetables and the fruit that you take all the time? It's like, people get reoccurring injuries and they think, oh, must just be a weak point. And, and I've certainly had a number of them. And it's like, well, no, it's not. It's when you get low and when you get tired. Mondays are a tough day for me. Yeah, I know every Monday evening when I come home, I'm struggling with my neck pain. Now I think, oh, is my neck not right from where I had an operation? Well, no, it's not necessarily that. It's the fact that because my immune system has got low during the day because I've got run down, I haven't refueled, I haven't drunk enough. And then all of a sudden it goes to your vulnerable points. And I suppose you get that being a footballer as well, don't you?
Massively. I mean, it leads to your fatigue. It leads to everything. But this is in everyday life as well. I mean, it's not about trying to keep, if you get on a good diet with the training alongside of it and plenty of sleep, your body shape changes so quickly. It's unbelievable. But it's not about trying to lose weight. Isn't about just not eating anything, because then you haven't got any energy to do anything. Yeah. So it is about, like, we're footballers. We need plenty of food. We need loads of food. But it's trying to get the right foods. And again, if you ever want me to come on, or if anyone actually wants to have a chat about anything, or which is a bit more kind of personalised or a bit more into certain food groups and stuff like that, I'd be really happy to do it, because I genuinely find it really interesting.
Mate, that would be fantastic. That would be fantastic, because I know a lot of the lads, a lot haven't been able to come on tonight. There are some that have come on and have arrived late. I know we've recorded it, but this is just a little snapshot, and we've done probably 20 minutes, and this is a snapshot of what we're doing. I mean, for me personally, what I want the boys to get out of tonight was somebody at your level that's done it with, obviously with what's holding you back, but you haven't let anything hold you back. So I'm trying to say to our boys, look, if you want to give yourself the best chance of performing to the best of your abilities, you need to follow all these guys. They're going to help you. Now, it's up to you, like you said. And I think one of the biggest things you said here tonight is it's knowing your body. So what might suit you mightn't suit them. Like we were talking about the drinks. Some will take a bottle of water and a bottle of liquid. Other people will take this and that. And I think it's understanding what you want in your body. But it's also, hang on, let's just see what the more that you can do each day. Like you might think, well, okay, I haven't got a game of football this week. But if you so this week, that's 7 days. That's 21 lots of fruit that Owen's probably had on his food compared to what you had. Now, you imagine putting that against your competitor. And when you play the next Saturday, you've topped up on all that following week when you did have a game. It's going to benefit you, isn't it? Massively. And you've been out of the game for a fair time with your injuries. So did you maintain all of this as much as you could possibly then without obviously being able to exercise greatly because obviously it was a knee injury?
I tried to keep. Well, to be fair, I had to reduce my calories.
Wow.
Because obviously I mean, you see it loads with ex-footballers, don't you? Let's kind of have it right here a little bit. They stop playing football, and a few years later, some of them, they carry on eating the same amount of food, and we know what happens there. But do you know what? It's about experimenting and stuff. And I never thought I would get into this stuff, but I absolutely love it. I was like chopping up garlic and ginger and putting spices in stuff and all sorts and that. And that's what I do now. And just try to experiment. Healthy food does not have to be boring. And there's so many sources of information out there now that can walk you step by step through what to do. And I honestly, I was looking on Amazon the other night, looking for like boxes of different spices and stuff, just to try and to get a better variety into my diet and stuff. And once you get into it, it's brilliant.
That's brilliant, mate. That's brilliant. So going forward, Oz, because I'm coming towards the end now, but going forward, I mean, obviously the clip that you sent me on the video, I'll send out to all the groups and all the rest of it so they can look at that. Yeah. But going forward, is this something that, potentially you would be doing, like making some, like I said to you, to do the video and then upload it and all the rest of that? I think it's especially like you did all of that. And what's great, like you said, there was that couple of 3 or 4 seconds that we have to wait for it to, for it to tell you how much was in there. Now, this is where I'm embarrassed because I just if it takes me 3 or 4 seconds, I ain't got time for that. You have to wait for that because you have to wait for it to tell you. Whereas I ain't got time. I got to go restaurant. We're all busy. Yet you do this with your disability that you can't see. And that to me makes me so embarrassed, but in awe of what you do. And I think this is why it's fantastic that you've done this video for us tonight. And, doing more would be fantastic.
I'd love to. So I'm actually, I'm studying nutrition at the moment. That's my current sort of thing. That's what I'm doing at the moment. And looking to obviously start working in a nutritional set and hopefully more aimed towards sports and nutrition and stuff. So yeah, I'm planning on doing a lot more of it, but it's not just the stuff that I do, this and obviously the sports massage type stuff and things like that. It's about, I thoroughly enjoy it as well. I genuinely enjoy what I do. Yeah. And I think that makes a difference to your learning. If you can find something that you actually enjoy, I think it makes a huge difference. Oh, massively, massively. And I mean, it comes across, I can tell from your enthusiasm, just when we've spoken, all the rest of it, but even, when you're doing this, you can tell that you're enjoying it. And I know that, listen, out of all the lads that have watched the videos and that have come on to you, the Zooms and all the rest of it, if I just get one of them improves it, to me, it's been worthwhile. It's no different to when I coach, if you get one lad to improve, it's a massive reward. And like with what you're sharing, I think that's brilliant. And if okay with you, is what we'll do is going forward is that if you share them on your Facebook page, or if you wanted to do some videos, I could share them with the lads, etc. But also on your Facebook page, when you do some videos, I think, listen, we'd be more than happy for you to trial out some of your nutritional stuff on us. Chats like this are absolutely fantastic, and they're going to benefit each and every one of the players that takes the time to listen to them and go forward, mate. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd really love to be involved. Lads, just a quick one before I go. I'm doing it on my Facebook page, so it's Knightswood Massage Therapy. Tomorrow night, I'm doing a free stretch session. And it's it'll be about 40 to 45 minutes, 7:30 till 8:15. And I'm going to do it live tomorrow night. It'll be all simple sort of stuff because it is for everyone. But it should be quite good. I'm looking forward to it. It's the first one I've done. But So if anyone fancies joining that, everybody's welcome on that as well.
Brilliant, Oz. So, well, if you can, what we'll do is, mate, if you message me the link, what I'll do is I'll send it out onto to all their group chat throughout the age groups. So could all the age groups look at that, Oz? Because it's
yeah, because it's literally, so my Facebook page, my Nights with Massage Therapies page.
Yeah.
I'm literally just going to do it live on Facebook.
Brilliant. Okay, mate, that's absolutely fantastic then. Yeah, well, we'll definitely do that, Oz. Oz, we'll wrap it up and say thank you very much again, mate, for sharing your time, mate. You've been absolutely first class, and I really, genuinely, from all of us, I do appreciate your time, mate.
No, thank you very much. I've enjoyed it.
You're a top man. Thank you, Oz, and we'll look forward to putting that out, guys. So thanks again for attending tonight, guys. With the great news back this week, we're all going to be back in a week's time, back training and then playing week Saturday. So fingers crossed we can keep it like that. I know there are rumours that Hereford's going to be one of the higher tiers at the moment, which isn't great news, but it is just a rumour. So let's fingers crossed it won't be, and we'll all be back soon. So stay safe, and thanks again for coming along tonight. Thank you.